Everyone, welcome to this episode of Our Jacked Up Lives. I have my friend Kevin Hamilton here. Kevin, say hello.
Hello.
Me and Kevin have known each other for a while, since freshman orientation at St. Viator High School. We've been friends for a long time, and he is one of the most, one of the most committed and compassionate people I've ever met. Kevin was actually with me on the most recent venture that we did that lasted about 2 weeks. Uneven
It
Cones.
was not. It was a thing called Uneven Cones. It was a failed sports podcast.
Well,
We
yeah.
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 and pretty much everyone jumped ship except for Jack, Luke, and I. And even then, it was like, how committed were we?
Yeah, that's the only thing. I've been trying to make something work for a long time with producing content and all of that, but it's difficult when you're not passionate about it. And I'll tell you what, I was not passionate about what I was doing. Coronavirus started, and I was just like, oh man, I need to do something, right? And I forced something that wasn't what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Ultimately, you saw the lack of sports, and you were like, "Ooh, I could make money from the lack of sports by injecting sports that don't exist
Yeah,
right now."
and it was just a lot of work, especially because I was trying to make this team of people who weren't really interested in doing it. You were the person who was the most supportive during the entire process. You and Luke were the best people for me. But after so long, I was just gonna stop beating the dead horse. And I decided to create this instead, which is something more of it's something I'm doing for myself, not so much something I'm doing for to try and make money or create something different.
Yo, why do we call it beating a dead horse though?
I don't know.
Why the horse? Why the
doesn't
horse
really-
of all animals?
I don't know. I feel like it's
I
probably
feel like
because,
there's a story that originates with it.
probably because
I feel like someone legit was beating a dead horse.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking, and they were just being ridiculous with it.
Yeah.
So I guess if you shoot a horse, because a lot of people shoot horses whenever they can't compete anymore. So do you think that they were just beating the hell out of it, and they're just
because
stop
they
beating a
couldn't
dead
compete.
horse?
Yeah. Yeah, I bet.
Whoa.
That would make sense.
Some of the phrases that we have in the English language come from some really weird stuff. Who was the first person to say raining cats and dogs? It doesn't make any sense. That's just stupid.
Oh man, it's raining cats and dogs around here. Yeah, it's not like you can't even find a metaphor for cats and dogs.
No.
It doesn't make sense.
Whack.
It's wacky, Jack.
Wacky as all heck. Anyway, so Kevin, you recently have been on the USA Rugby Olympian team, right?
USA
Wheelchair rugby
team. It's a Paralympic team, and that's important because the Paralympics and the Olympics are different, but ultimately it's a single one gold medal, correct?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was on the USA Wheelchair Rugby for the duration of the. Oh my God, I can't even think years right now. It's time is feel. I guess it was 2019 to 2019, but
Still, man.
it was like the very beginning of 2019 and the very end of 2019. So it was just for that 1 year. Whereas some years it's it could be 2019, 2020, or 2021, depending on when the tryout starts and when the next tryout begins.
Right.
Because you're ultimately on the team until you're cut, essentially.
Yeah. And the reason you were off the team too wasn't even because you were cut. It was just because of complications.
Yeah, and to be fair, and this isn't to take away from any of the people that made the team, I could have still gone out there and been cut.
Right.
That could have happened. However, I was in the hospital, and I can't hate on anybody or anything. Ultimately, I gotta stay committed to keeping myself healthier, and especially during COVID, I think this is a great time to really take on that challenge head on.
It really is.
But yeah, I don't want to take away from anybody that made the team. I remember when I first made the team, and it was amazing, and I had a great tryout, and I definitely deserved it. And I'm sure the people who made it over me had a great tryout as well, and deserved it.
Well, here's the thing though, is I really haven't seen you play rugby so much, but I've seen the way that you just run into people consistently. If we're just messing around, Like, in seeing that type of mentality, like, it makes me think you'd be real good at that sport.
Do you want to know what's funny? It's not my. I mean, don't get me wrong. Running into people is fun, but I'm one of the, at least, not at the top like Paralympic level, but at least at the club level, and even then at like the tryout level, it's really just that top level. I'm one of the shiftier players that doesn't run into people. I juke people.
Nice.
I'm elusive. I'm like a Darren Sproles type. I'm pretty small. Like most of the people I'm playing with are like 6'2", 6'3", sub 6'6", 6'7", just quadriplegics in chairs, but they're still tall.
Yeah.
Like it's funny. The two shortest people in the team, other than where it was this guy named Alex. So he's got like full core, like full able-bodied core, but he's got like little arms, like up to here, and he's got little legs.
Yeah.
So he's really short because of that. And then the next shortest guy I think was Chuck Aoki, he's kind of the superstar of the sport. He's verified on Instagram. He's sponsored by all these companies. I don't know if he's sponsored by Dick's anymore, but I'm pretty sure he used to be. No, he's sponsored by the Hartford. And he had a sponsorship with some big company that he put up a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
Big deal in the sport. Right now, like the way he's been playing in the past year, you can make an argument that he's the best player in the world.
Of all time, or just in the world?
Not all time. All time is Riley Bad of Australia, who also still has that argument.
Right.
But right now, Chuck has been playing on like an amazing level, and USA's won like I think 3 of the last 4 competitions. I don't know, but they've won we've been winning a lot, and he's real. You can make the argument that he's number 1, and then what makes USA really good is we have a lot of depth. It's not just Aoki. There are other players like Josh Wheeler, Chad Cohn, Lee Fredette, Joe Delgrave, Jeff Butler. Obviously, these names don't ring a bell to the audience, but they are all very good players at this certain sport that are either the best at their position or maybe the second best.
That's really cool. And most of them are Americans, right? You said.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great to see that we're taking up a sport, that like isn't very popular in America, but we're still making a lot of strides in it, which is pretty great.
Oh yeah.
Because like football doesn't seem very feasible for wheelchair football. Does that exist?
Do you know what? There is actually a wheelchair football league coming soon, but
that's cool,
dude.
That's so cool.
It's cool, but like, and don't get me wrong, it's great if you play it cool, but if I'm not mistaken, I think it's like just like two-handed touch.
Oh really?
And I feel like it just loses the charm at the two-handed touch. Because in rugby, we're actually like we're steamrolling into people.
I love that.
Other people.
I love that.
And it's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's very aggressive. It's awesome. If you were to get into the sport, I would recommend checking out the 2016 gold medal game between Australia and USA. That's one of the best. That's just a great sporting game of any sport, and probably the best wheelchair rugby game. It's exciting. That game's exciting. We unfortunately lose, but it's in terms of exciting entertainment. I think it was a double overtime game.
Wow.
Like
That's
gold
awesome.
medal, like 4 gold medal. Like, can you imagine the nerves that would go on?
I know, right?
People's minds.
That's just a great moment in sports right there.
Yeah.
It's super cool. You also played a little bit of basketball as well. I know that.
Yeah, I was kind of good at basketball, but yeah, ultimately I was always better at rugby, and basketball actually started first, and I played for much longer because wheelchair rugby doesn't have a junior league like basketball does. Like basketball has a prep league, a varsity league. The prep is like essentially preschool. Could have a preschooler. Could even have like a 3-year-old in it if you really.
Wow.
But
that's awesome.
But you're probably not going to see players playing until like actually in the game until elementary school, and then your last year is I think 8th grade.
Damn.
I know at least when I was younger.
Sorry,
it was 7th
one second.
grade.
Like these kids that are like just starting out, like they're playing up against kids that are a lot older than them.
Oh yeah, there could be. And the thing is, So I think in both of wheelchair rugby and wheelchair basketball, there's these things called classification, and you're classified based on your disability. So in basketball, because I'm a quadriplegic and I'm disabled in my hands, I'm a 1.0. And it's on a 1.0 scale to a 4.5 scale.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, etc. But you can only have 14 points on the floor. Now, in prep, that stuff isn't eliminated. So you could very well see a second grader killing a seventh grader because he has more function than them.
Right.
And one of the reasons why I was very good, at least in prep and varsity, is that I was a 1.0 that was essentially as fast as all the 4.5s and
Right.
4.0. Not as fast, but I was. I held my own just fine.
Come on, man, you move pretty quick.
Yeah, and I'm pretty quick in rugby world too. But yeah, I was quick and I could play defense. And I was never an offensive player. That's okay. My hands are disabled. Do you know how hard it is to shoot with disabled hands? It's hard.
I know how hard it is to shoot with regular hands.
Yeah.
My shot is so broke.
Yeah. Exactly. So that was always really tough for me. If I was scoring, I was probably scoring like 4-6 points a game. Nothing crazy. No, I think I was either like I think I was an 8th grader or maybe a freshman at the time. I don't know. I was younger. I had a game where I had like a double and I didn't score a single point.
Wow. That's ridiculous. So you more of like a rebounder?
I had like 15 rebounds, like 10 assists that game, like 5 steals, and like no point.
He's killing it.
I didn't shoot the ball once. It's because that team ran a press defense, and because even though I was disabled in my hands, I didn't turn over the ball that much at that age. But at the same time, I don't have that like ability to where I can really like destroy people one-on-one. So what I did was I got the ball at half court and I held that and I waited for the best players to get open and I made that pass and it was so easy. It was easy money every time.
Love that. That's awesome. And I say that, like, I've seen you being like quick. It's just because we went to high school. We've hung out for a long time. We've been friends for a while, and it's hard to maneuver. It's hard to get good at maneuvering like chair in like that kind of a way. Like being able to stop on a dime, being able to just like to turn around super quick, or just like just pick up speed really fast. At least I like whenever I was just messing around with it, like. It's hard to get good at it. Like it's got a nice feel to it, but like having that skill to just be able to move on a dime is just impressive.
Yeah, it's kind of like gotta be really delicate, really fine movements. It's really fine movements. You gotta know exactly what you're doing in order for it to really be perfect, and it takes a lot of practice and a lot of time to get good at it. I've fortunately been in a chair. I mean, when I was younger, I used to walk, but I did start in a chair. Not start in a chair, but like when I was younger and was rehabbing. So, I guess to start from the beginning because I'm about to bring this up.
Let's do it.
I got my disability when I was 1.5 years old. It was a disability called transverse myelitis, and it essentially a virus. Actually, for most people, a virus attacks their spine and then they get disabled. In my case, a virus didn't actually attack my spine. My immune system believed the virus attacked my spine when it actually didn't. So my immune system attacked my spine.
Right.
Yeah. So my body duped me. I got bamboozled.
Yeah, that's just awful. Like.
And then, right now I'm sitting, I'm moving my arms, I'm doing just fine. I'm pretty muscular, can work out just fine. I see myself lifting weights bigger than many other people. But
you got some big biceps. Go ahead and give a flex for the camera right quick, because these things
it's a potato.
Huge. Yeah, these things are.
It's a potato. Can
big.
I see it?
Just a little bit more. Get the light angle. Get that light angle. Yes, sir. There
like
it
that?
is.
Got it. When I was, but when I was initially disabled, I could only move my head and my right thumb. Everything else was completely immobile.
How old were you again?
1.5.
Oh, okay.
And which
So, do you have any memories of not being having that problem, or?
no, which honestly is a good thing because so many people in the rugby world that I do know have had other accidents like boating accidents or like car crash where they remember it or just incidents where they remember everything from their life to where they could remember when they could walk or do stuff normally, pee normally, just a bunch of stuff normally that I've fortunately never really had to adapt like that. This is my normal life, so I've always been pretty comfortable in my own skin.
Yeah, I can always tell that.
Yeah, so but I've had it lucky in a sense that I've never had to adapt like that.
And that's great too. Like seeing the amount of confidence that you have just in yourself when so many people get beat up from even things that aren't like mental problems. That people get on themselves for having not being pretty enough or not doing whatever, being too fat, too skinny, whatever you want to say. And it's just you've always been just the person who's been very happy with who they are, very just positive, and that's the type of people that you want to surround yourself with. And that's just something that is awesome to see.
Thank you.
Oh, for sure, buddy. Absolutely. But also, what were we talking about beforehand? We were saying something about
disability.
Disability, yeah.
Disability.
Yeah, and how you ended up getting it. You were 1.5. You didn't have to.
I was immobile.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just take it from here. I had to do a bunch of small rehab, which I don't really remember.
Sorry,
at
what did you
all.
say? I didn't even hear what you said.
Which I had to do a bunch of rehab.
Oh, okay.
From a
Yeah.
small age.
Yeah.
I don't really remember a lot of it. I just know I went to Arlington Pediatric Therapy in Arlington Heights, Illinois. And they helped me just rehab. I used stuff like a stander. And when I was younger, I could walk better, and I really can't do that now. But the point is that I was able to rehab just fine.
Yeah.
I have some barriers, but
I mean, you've clearly surpassed a lot of the issues that the disabilities you've had. You're an amazing Smash Brothers player. You whoop my ass consistently, and your hands aren't even meant for
you're
the controller.
goddamn right I do.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I was being nice. You don't got to do that shit. I'll still whoop you though.
Oh, you know me. I'm cocky.
Yeah, I know you are, little bitch.
I am cocky when I want to be. I try to be humble.
Well, same here, but it's fun to be cocky.
Dude, so when I could stand up, I actually used to play stand-up baseball when I was younger. I think from 2nd to 4th grade when I could do that type of stuff. Before my body kind of fizzled out before my legs fizzled out on me.
Yeah.
And that was, the pitchers pitched to me, but if I hit that ball, it was going to the outfield every
Yes,
time.
sir.
It was going to the outfield
Yes,
or in
sir.
between two people. Don't get me wrong, I'm disabled. I could not run for my life.
Yeah.
I was the only one getting into double plays at that age.
Oh, you were still running for yourself?
Yeah, back then I could run, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's fucking dope. I thought that you had a pinch runner.
No. I ran the bases. And
Nice.
they stuck me in right field because right field is so easy to play.
Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
it also helped that I had a cannon of an arm
yes, sir.
compared to everyone else at that age.
With that bicep, with that fucking potato.
I specifically remember there was a play I made. I was going to field a fly ball. I fell because, of course, it makes a lot of sense. I fell in the wet grass at Mellis Park, and I crawled to the baseball. Threw it to my second baseman, and then the second baseman threw home, and we got the dude out.
No way.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, we did not deserve that.
Well, I mean,
But for a little league play, that's actually a really good play.
Yeah, that's great. That's heads up right there.
Yeah, that's the one thing I had is that even though I couldn't run, I could still make throws like that. Not
well, you made the right throw.
Yeah. I knew what I was doing.
Yeah, exactly. And there's plenty of people who are playing Little League that have no idea what the hell they're doing.
Here's the thing. I don't know what I'm doing when I'm do baseball anymore, well, I don't play baseball anymore, but when I watch baseball, or I actually used to play wheelchair softball too, but we're not going to go into that. That's a casual beer. I mean, I didn't drink beer when I played it because I played it younger, but it's a sport that you don't take competitive.
Kevin does not condone underage drinking.
I don't. but it's a sport that you don't play competitively. That's the point when I say beer
it's like
drinking.
16-inch.
Yeah, it's a sport you have fun, get with your buddies, blah blah blah, all that jazz. But yeah, like I probably knew what I was doing back then because baseball was like the first sport that I really loved.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger.
Same here.
Go White Sox.
Go Cubs. Yeah, love that. Just friendly rivalry. Both teams are doing great this year. Not trying to turn this into a sports episode, but we totally could actually. If you want to, we totally could.
Yeah, I mean, we're only like 500, but that's fine. We just hit back to back to back to back. We're doing great.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like bomb.
And we're the last team to do it too. So more rare than a perfect game, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, damn.
Only the 10th time it's ever happened.
Really? That's pretty great.
Which is really weird when you think about, because a perfect game feels a lot harder. But it makes sense because someone with a perfect game or no hitter can really get into the zone. Whereas you need 4 consecutive hitters to all be in the zone at once. And when it's 4 different people, it's much harder than yourself.
And you need like one pitcher who's just destroying, like just mentally defeated.
Yeah, I think it was his.
Was it
I
the
think
same
it was
guy?
his debut.
Oh no! Was it the same guy every time? Oh
well,
my
yeah,
God.
because of the new bullpen rule.
Oh right. How many pitches is it again?
I don't know, but I think you
batters?
need to record 3 outs.
No, that can't be right. 3 outs?
Maybe there is a pitch limit to it, but I swear you need to record 3 outs.
Do you want to look
They
it up?
pretty much did that so you couldn't just throw in a pitcher for 1 at bat, get the dude like automatic out, then throw in it for like I don't know.
Do you want to check? I don't have my phone. My phone's recording this. Do you want to look it up? Can you look it up?
Yeah,
please?
yeah.
Because I want to get this right.
Yeah, I wish I was more up to date with this type of stuff. I'm usually kind of a curmudgeon on this.
I mean, I should be.
Slacking.
I should be. I play D3 baseball. Like, I should have an idea of what's going on roughly with my sport.
That's true. Well, you do know the rule, an extra innings rule, though.
Oh yeah, the new one that they have with the runner on second.
Yeah. So
I don't know if I like it.
I don't like it.
It's weird. It just makes games end too fast.
They end too fast, but you should earn that runner on second.
I don't mind if he goes on first. I think having him on first might be a little bit more interesting, because that way he could steal.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But seconds, like, you just need a single up the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you need one base hit, and all of a sudden it's over. I need to get myself, like, a Jamie from Joe Rogan. Someone I can just, like, talk to and be like, hey, look that stuff up. Just not there yet. Not in the budget.
Under the new rule, all starting and relief pitchers must face a minimum of 3 batters per outing unless the inning ends before that.
Oh, okay. So he gave up the 3 home runs, and they were like, he's not going to do it again. And then he gave up another one.
Yeah, and he couldn't be taken out because...
Well, he could be, right? Because it was three batters. So they left him in for the 4th one when they probably shouldn't have. They're probably never going to do that again.
Yeah, it was... Yeah.
It was
I mean,
hilarious.
well, the thing is, at that point, you just gotta... They knew the guy was green, so it's like... So, important thing I'm about to say here. This is just for anybody, literally anybody listening. When you develop players or anybody for anything, literally, this could apply for any position in the world. You have to let them screw up massively.
You do.
Like, to get...
I mean, that's not like a sports thing. That's a training thing.
Yeah,
with anybody. If you're raising a kid, if you are, like, doing anything at all, you need to let them make their own mistakes.
Yeah, and, like, besides, what's the difference to the Cardinals, like, if there's 3 homers hit off and not 4? Like, what's the it's still embarrassing, but
the games matter more.
Yeah, but it's still embarrassing. 1 more homer after 3 in a row isn't gonna...
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It's not gonna make it... Like, that's just a solo homer in the grand scheme of things. It's not gonna make a dramatic difference in the game that the other 3 didn't make already.
It's a momentum swing, though, for sure.
Of course.
Baseball's all about momentum.
Of course, but, like, obviously he screwed up before. You really think he's going to look at this outing? Of course he's going to be ashamed.
I see what you're saying.
He's going to be ashamed, and people are going to razz him, rah, rah, rah. But
He's
he's
gonna make
going
him
to
better.
become a better player from this.
Or he's gonna get the yips and never come back again.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have the yips, you probably it's amazing. If you had the yips and you get the yips from this, it's probably a miracle you made it there in the first place.
That's true. I guess you're kind of right. The
Like,
yips is a funny thing because it's not like a baseball thing. It's literally just because if you ever get inside your own head, like you're screwed. Essentially, that's what it says.
yeah, do you want to? It was always hilarious watching Lester throw to first base.
Oh my god, that was ridiculous.
That was such a funny thing.
It was like he would bounce it in like at some points when he would have to like field a bunt. He would like purposely spike it in the ground, and Rizzo would like get it on the long hop.
Yeah, and
Like-
of course, luckily he had Rizzo.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, Rizzo's probably the best defensive first baseman, maybe if not the best, in top 3.
He's one of the best for sure.
Like he's always
He's
been
a
an
dog.
amazing defensive player.
Great person too, which I'm really happy to have.
Oh
on my
yeah,
team.
dude. I don't like the Cubs. Big fan of Rizzo. He's
Yeah.
a great dude, great player.
Yeah, you get a guy who like beat cancer. Like at a point where he was like 20 something. He was about to go. I think he got drafted and he got cancer, something along the lines of that, or he had it like right beforehand. But like that changes you. He's such a positive guy all the time. He's always trying to make the best of every situation. Like I love it. Like he's what we like. He's a person that we can look to like in times like this, especially, and be like, all right, like I'm glad that everything's still going good with that, and we can look
Yeah,
up to that.
frankly, he's a person literally everybody could look up to and be like, wow, what a great individual, like from any walk of life, any religion.
All the work he does with kids that have cancer too. It's a great thing to see.
Yeah, not to mention, he actually went to Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. So, do you remember the school shooting last year?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's also really supportive of that community,
Gotcha.
of
Yeah,
his
no,
own
that's awesome.
community.
Oh right. I remember. Yeah, of course. It was his own high school. That guy had that problem, and he went back and he tried to help him out. Yeah, he's just a really great guy. Like I just really love that he's embodies Chicago, and I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though he's Florida man. Headline: Florida man comes to Chicago.
Florida man is face of Chicago.
Yeah, for real. Love that.
Yeah, great dude though.
Great guy. Let's see what else. You and I also went on a religious retreat together back in our senior year called Kairos. I talked about that in an episode I'm either going to release before or after this. I have no idea when I'm releasing any of these episodes. I'm just kind of getting a bunch. But like me and Jack Kohler talked about it and talked about our experience. And you and I were on the same one for when we were actually going on it, not leading, because we both led separately. But
You led the one after I did.
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
You led the one right after the one we went on, and then I led the one after that. Which was, I mean, how did your experience did it like affect you? Did it change you? Because for me, like, it did something. Like definitely something. It made me open up to the idea of other people had a lot of issues that I didn't see before. So how did that affect you?
I mean, I think if anything, it just kind of almost enhanced my empathy. I think it did give me a stronger connection with God.
Mm-hmm.
Admittedly, I would say lately I haven't been as religious, and maybe that's because I don't have access to an in-person church right now without risking COVID.
Yeah.
But I need to do a better job keeping the faith. But I think it really just enhanced how I prayed, how I conducted religious protocol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For me, like I got too into it. Like I got too into it, Like there was there were like I wanted to like give everybody the experience that I had, which was just really beneficial for me. And when you try and do that, like it won't work. And that was the issue that I faced with it. But like I learned a lot from it, and I mean I'm assuming that you did as well. Like how was your like did you enjoy like everything that was going on? Like tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to,
Well, yeah, you don't have to give away any. Like,
yeah, I don't want to give
information.
anything away about it. But I really did immerse myself. The only thing is, it's a religious retreat, so I'm gonna spoil that. Yeah, you go to church. At some point.
Yeah, you do.
You go to church.
Yeah, you do.
But I definitely fell asleep during that. But that was more or less just being tired out from everything.
Homie was always the kid during the Our Father who was passed out, and while we were holding hands,
No,
we were
I always woke up. You know what? I always woke up for the Our Father.
okay.
It was.
I saw you asleep one time, and you were just like people were holding their hands up.
Okay, most of the time I wake up for the Our Father.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been the best sleeper, and especially being a quadriplegic, I'm always tiring myself out a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's really easy for me to just all of a sudden just get gas right there.
I'm not trying to make fun of you either. I just thought it was super funny.
No, and it is funny. I think it's hilarious too.
Yeah.
I would absolutely laugh at me if I were another person.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Well, I'm talking to the audience that can't respond.
They can hear us.
Yeah.
I got a phone call because I'm just so popular.
Yeah. It was my wife. She really loves him.
You're not married.
Yeah, I'm not married either. But I did want to go through, I guess, some barriers or challenges that I might face, and I think for starters, like going to a friend's house and then the house doesn't have like a ramp or it might have stairs. It's that's one difficult thing because then I need to like get out of the chair, sit down, and scoot down the chair, and then have someone else bringing my wheelchair over, or maybe getting into a car, and if the car isn't big enough to fit my wheelchair, then obviously we gotta break it down. And don't get me wrong, my chair's great for this.
Oh, it's
You can
fantastic.
just pop the wheels right off.
Yeah, it's super easy.
And then put it in, but still, it does make it a hassle for people around me. And I could do it myself. It would just take a long time.
Nah, man.
And there's no point. Like we want to eat that Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
like,
we wanted to get that Chick-fil-A.
We're not trying to like watch me disassemble a wheelchair for like for 2 minutes. We're trying to like pop it, boom, boom. 15 seconds.
Dude,
we're off.
I still got a video of when you tried to roll down like a flight of stairs that was right outside of our high school, and you just like completely like had to grab onto the railing and the chair just like swung around the corner. It was awesome. That was so funny.
Yeah, but I ate shit.
I mean, yeah, you ate shit. You weren't doing it not to eat shit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it would have been. Here's the thing. That's the type of risk you take. I know I'm not breaking any bones or anything.
Yeah.
I'm taking that risk. It might hurt a little. I might get a bruise or a scrape. But, you see, if I get that, everyone's looking at me and like, wow, what a badass mother.
True. I was really hoping you were just going to nail it.
Yeah. Have you ever heard the term throwing for content? It's when you
No.
fail on purpose to raise the suspension up more exciting. Imagine if I nailed it in front of everyone, then failed the second time, and
They'd be
then
like,
hit
"What
it
happened?"
the third time. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like, what?
Failing's great, dude. You fail it. We all need to fail in order to succeed.
Well, that says a lot about it, man. I mean, like again, you know, like this is overall the best. Like out of the 3 or 4 podcasts I've made before, like with the fantasy stuff and with the other Uneven Cones thing, like you know, this is obviously the best one I've made. And it's like because of the failings I've had previously, I was able to kind of make it a lot better. What the hell are you doing? I have a camera. I'm just gonna put that on there.
Good.
Okay, good.
I like feeling like a reptile sometimes. I feel like a.
Kevin, are you one of the lizard people?
Yeah. So get your tinfoil hats, boys, because.
Yeah.
And girls don't want. And they.
No discrimination here. Never.
Towards anyone. And
No, never.
Get your tinfoil hats on, everybody, because.
Kevin's gonna talk about lizard people. Apparently.
Yeah. Not only am I a lizard person, but I'm in the government and I run the world.
Kevin does run the world.
Keep an eye out.
Mhm. He's part of the Illuminati.
I know how you breathe. I know what your heart rate is right now.
So does my watch. I mean, actually, it's kind of funny because like Apple does know what my heart rate is right now.
Oh, that is actually.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that is really weird.
I know. Like there's a lot of stuff that technology is going to be able to do in the near future that is going to like be super crazy. You know, I mean, people are even talking about now like putting like some chips in someone's brain and fixing like eyesight or fixing like hearing. And it's like if you were able to do that what is stopping you at all from putting a computer in there, like something like your iPhone, so you can just pop it up in your vision whenever you want?
Okay, so actually, I'm a diabetic too,
Yes.
along with my disability, but it's actually worse than my disability in my humble opinion. But I hate it
Yeah.
because I gotta prick my finger, do all this stuff. But anyways, I was at a rugby tournament. I was talking to a friend of mine. His name's Rishi. He plays for the DC team. Uh he's not anywhere near the Paralympic level, but he's a cool guy. And
Nice.
he's really smart too. I think he's trying to be in the medical field, which is probably why he was telling me this. But anyways, apparently they're doing something to, like, they're running trials along the East Coast right now for people with type 1 diabetes that sends like some virus or whatever in you and it cures your diabetes. Like your
What?
pancreas just, it's like
It just figures it out all
it just
of a sudden.
I don't look. I'm not the medical guy. I'm
Yeah.
probably giving false terminology, but it like almost like downloads why your thing is wrong and then corrects like why your
What?
pancreas is wrong. Like a certain portion of your like DNA or genes or whatever is wrong, and then it fixes it.
That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible.
And like it could be released like, I mean, it could be released soon, but also could be released in like 20 years.
Well, I mean, either way, as long as we're doing it.
Far. Yeah, like the point is like in my lifetime, it's probably gonna be fixed.
That's amazing. Does that make you feel good? Like,
Yeah.
like you excited for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be like, damn.
Honestly, I'm considering just going over there and running a trial for it.
Really? Do you think?
I'm okay being experimented on, as long as I don't think I'm gonna die.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Is like, do you think that they'd risk it? Like because like, it's a virus, you know. Like, I guess virus has a
Well, maybe
virus
not.
has a
Well, maybe
negative
not with
connotation right
COVID.
now. Yeah.
Maybe not with
Yeah.
COVID, but going on right now, they probably have really stingy protocol for who they actually let.
Yeah.
But
sure.
in a non-COVID-19 world, I'm sure I could
Right.
go in and get a trial
Right.
run on me.
Yeah, just because right now, like, I mean, not only do you have diabetes, you also have the other problems with your immune system.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
like,
I'm also crippled. Yeah, that's kind of a
yeah,
thing.
yeah. So like, right now probably wouldn't be the best time to do it. I'm not even sure if they'd want to mess around.
No,
with
I'd
that.
probably socially distance. Dude, Jack, we're socially distancing, dude.
We are. We
during
got.
this recording. That's
We got.
great.
We got a good amount of space in between us.
We
right
could.
now.
We're not wearing masks, but
Yeah.
we're socially distancing
Yeah.
in a free space,
Yeah. Exactly.
in a non-public space.
Yeah. Exactly. We're trying to be responsible, but kind
I
of.
made sure he wore his mask when we got our Chick-fil-A.
That is true. I did throw it up. I actually do have a mask. Like I do have my logo. So just saying.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like a galaxy.
The nebula. Thank you.
What did he say?
It's a nebula.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. That
Well,
doesn't
it's
mean-
yeah. I'll just okay. Anyway, but back to what you said about that virus thing, because that's incredible. Like that's like we can fix diabetes by essentially, and I know you don't know everything, but you can like essentially inject like.
It's not injecting something, but I don't think it's in just pure injection.
Okay.
But it's almost like reverse engineering or reverse coding. It's
Wow.
Look, it's a bunch of crazy stuff. I don't know much about it. I was told it in like an hour-long conversation I had with this guy.
Right.
Like literally right after a rugby game, so I was tired and I didn't get everything down. But the concept is amazing.
Yeah, for real. Like, I mean, that kind of makes me think that. I mean, if we can do that, if we can like figure out a way to just get rid of diabetes by changing up someone's genetic code, like while they're already alive, how far along do you think we are with like being able to manipulate genetic code like before people are born, like in some Gattaca stuff right there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we got to be damn close if we can do stuff like that.
The thing is, can't we already do stuff like that?
I think we can.
Like, but the thing is, the problem is, then there's moral questions like, are we trying to make an ethnocentric society with this? No, we shouldn't. But there's surely people that would try.
Right. And the thing is like, you know, with all the stuff, like the shady stuff that like our government does, as opposed to with like covering up certain things, and like even like especially with the Epstein thing, like that's super weird. You know, like there's too much like weird stuff going on with that. I don't want to get too into it, but like there's if we're talking about conspiracies, this is kind of the biggest one that more people should be like looking at because I mean, it's all gonna come out, but like it's only gonna come out when people are yeah, it's gonna be a very controlled burn, which is, I mean, I guess it makes sense. People don't lose their minds. People's paradigms don't get shattered too fast, but like the elites like they freak me out.
Yeah, like, do you know what? A couple weeks ago, whatchamacallit, there was some furniture company.
Wayfair, that whole Wayfair thing.
Yeah, like it was total bogus. They only put names of that stuff to jack up the price because they're gonna take it off anyways. Like take it off from buying it, and who's gonna buy a $10K dresser?
Just the fact that the names of the dressers like coincided with the names of missing kids.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
That's
it's
scary.
That some of them were.
I really don't like that. That makes you feel very uncomfortable.
Stranger, but like, I mean, you could theoretically call that with anything. Like, little Billy could go missing, and then all of a sudden,
yeah,
a Billy doll.
Yeah, you're right. It's not necessarily like something that makes sense, but the fact that it does match up is scary.
And and the thing is like some of the missing kids, like there were cases from like years ago.
Yeah, so like the odds of that actually being correct is probably pretty low, but like still, it's just weird. It's just too weird, and it's like, because that this stuff happens, and it's not like we can ignore it either, because if it happened in the Catholic Church, it can definitely happen in our government. You know what I mean? Like if this type of stuff like exists in the world where people like abuse power and then start doing that to children, if you think it's not going on now, you're a fool.
Yeah, and by the way, I am a Catholic, but anybody that supports Catholic priests diddling kids is a moron.
Well, I don't think anybody supports that. That's the thing.
Well,
you can support the religion without supporting that.
But then there are people that cover up people for doing that.
Yeah, you're right,
they may not support it directly, but they're indirectly supporting it by keeping it in power.
That's very true.
And not actually supporting the whole message of Catholicism as a whole.
Yeah, that's very true. I can't really think of anything to say. Gulp, gulp.
Gulp.
Gulp, gulp. We can go for 45 minutes right now.
No, I could go for like 8 hours.
I think we'll keep it at an hour.
Yeah.
Just for my sake of editing it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know how Rogan... That's why I don't listen to Rogan consistently, because he puts like 3-hour podcasts up, and it's like, okay, I want to listen to like 30 minutes of this.
I'll listen to like a 3-hour one occasionally if it's good enough.
I'll listen to like Sargon of Akkad.
No, I like Rogan a lot. Like, I'm modeling this after Rogan. I mean, I got the 3 cameras and everything.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to like, enjoy like...
Taking his shoe off.
Ooh.
Oh, my first international experience in Japan.
Shit, yeah, let's do it. So,
well, actually, that's not true. My first international experience was technically in Birmingham, Alabama. But that's less
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, because it was the first international tournament I was in Birmingham.
Oh, okay, yeah, but, I mean, was the Japan trip the first time you left the country?
Yeah, ever.
All right, well, let's talk about it.
I've never left the country before.
How'd you like Japan?
Dude, so we were in Shibuya.
Oh, I've been there. Whoops.
Shibuya, Japan.
Yes, sir.
And this was the pretty classy portion of Japan. I didn't have to pay for a thing. All of my stuff was
Shibuya
paid
is the technology center of Japan, right?
Yeah.
In Tokyo. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have to pay for a thing here. And
Mm-hmm.
there's food places everywhere.
Yeah.
Amazing. I tried shabu shabu for the first time.
What's that?
It's like a Japanese like thing where you cook, like you get a bunch of meat, you get a bunch of vegetables, you get this big boiling pot in the middle, and you dump like these spices and stuff in the pot, then you throw the meat in there, then you take the meat out, you have this bowl of rice, you put like sauce in the rice, you put the meat in there, you put the vegetables, and it's delicious.
That's great. That sounds really good, actually.
Yeah, and the place I went to was all you can eat.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
And it's like this really thinly sliced meat. So it's like it's gonna fill you up eventually, but it's not like American portion.
Like I went to Japan when I was like 13. Like me and my dad went, and it was a hell of a time. Like getting to to go around and see like the new country that's like this is not a new country, but like a new country to me. like entirely like different side of the entire world. This was my first interaction with like Asian culture ever, and it was just so cool and different. I actually like slept through an earthquake that happened in Japan.
What?
Yeah, like my dad was sitting there, and all of a sudden he just starts feeling like the ground move, and I was passed out, and he's just like he didn't even tell me about it until we left, and he was like, yeah, there was an earthquake. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Why didn't you wake me up for that?
Well, I mean, I guess he knew you would be fine.
Well, yeah. Well, it wasn't even. Well, he didn't know. This is the first time he'd ever experienced an earthquake. The dude was just sitting there. Like, come on, let's not act like he knew what he was doing here.
Okay.
I mean, sure, he's like a fireman. He knows how to handle these situations. But like, we don't have earthquakes here. We don't have earthquakes in Chicago.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I kind of wish I was like awake for that because I've never felt that sensation before. Just fucking weird, man.
I want to eat this mic. Looks like cotton candy.
Yeah.
But anyways, I was in Japan.
In Japan.
The legal drinking age is there. It's 20. Obviously, I'm there on an international rugby trip, so I'm not going out and partying every night. I'm trying to win something, so I'm doing a lot of, mostly just working out, practicing, and resting, and then experiencing the food there.
Right.
So first international rugby experience. I forget who we played first. I think it was we played Canada first. And I wasn't at the Pan American Games, but we had just come off beating them by a good amount there. Like, we decisively won. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like last of the wire. And it's like, we're thinking like, oh, they're going to want revenge. And, so we were pretty prepared for a pretty close game. Mm-hmm. And we came out and smoked them once again. And they looked almost like they weren't trying as hard as they should have been, which is a little worrying for what could maybe happen in the future. But at the same time, we kind of know, like, we watch enough film, we know what they're gonna do.
Maybe they were just intimidated by the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, that's the thing. They could have. That's the thing. You never want to sleep on people, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, no, you should just never sleep on a team ever. Mm-hmm. Like, we thoroughly investigate every team that we play. But at the same time, it was almost weird how lackluster they came out.
Right.
Which, don't get me wrong, next time we play them, I'm not going to be on the team probably. But if we play them, I don't know, whenever Tokyo 2021. But who knows? It could be moved. It could just not happen.
Oh, yeah.
But
because of the Rona.
Yeah, but next time we play them, I would expect I would still prepare for a close game, even if it doesn't end up being a close game, because they're Canada. They don't like us. They're preparing for us. But we came out, we smoked them. Next day, so I was actually having. Sorry. It was weird. I was still feeling the jet lag even on like day 3, day 4 here. When we played New Zealand. And this was the game where I really got to play a lot because New Zealand's not as good as other countries are. They're still a good team, keep in mind. They still have some good players. It's just they don't have a ton of depth.
They're like the Canada to America of Australia and New Zealand. Is that like the same thing?
They're the Canada to Australia.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're the Canada to Australia. And we beat them. I got to get a lot of playing time this game. Mm-hmm. A lot. Like, I scored a pretty good amount. It's really the one game where I got to be like a main ball handler at points of time.
You're just trying to center as much as you can.
Speaking to the mic?
Yeah, just speak right
Okay. But it was the one time, I really got to have a lot of playing time. Because in the Canada game, I'm the human victory cigar in these games. If I come in the game, it means we win or they won. But regardless, I'm in.
I love it.
But I don't mind that. It's nice
You were young.
Yeah, I'm young. I was the youngest on the team, I think by 8 years?
Yeah, that'll do it.
7 or 8 years. So I was very young. And
is that also like low experience too?
Yeah, like everyone else on the team's way more experienced internationally, except for the other person that joined me that year. Okay. His name's Ray.
Was he the same way or no?
Well, he's 33, and yeah, he was a little inexperienced in mine, but he's more athletic than I am in terms of he's fast. He's a speed demon.
Nice.
But yeah, that was cool. But I think my first international goal was in Birmingham, Alabama. But my first international goal, not in the U.S., was against Canada, because they left me wide open. They were so well. They were just like, oh, let the new guy score. They sold completely out on our star player Chuck, and I got the ball, and it was cool.
Right, and that's the guy you were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
Right?
he's amazing.
Yeah.
Chuck actually, so he plays a sport with a lot of contact. He can't feel his hands. He can't feel like anything. I don't know exactly, but he can't feel his hands. He can't feel his legs.
Wow.
So every catch and pass he makes is pure muscle memory, or with his eyes.
So
like he sees himself catch it.
Did he is he one of the people who lost ability, or was he born with a disability?
Do you know what? He's weird because I think he's technically born with it, but it didn't really develop in him till he was like 4 or 5.
Oh, okay.
So they didn't really know when he was like 2 or 3 that he had this thing until some portions of stuff. I don't know what his disability is called, but only like 19 people in the world have it.
Oh wow.
It is very, very rare.
Yeah. He's probably the most athletic out of all of them.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty safe to say.
I would have to. Yeah. I don't see how he couldn't be.
Yeah.
And if you look at his knees are like squares. It's like a toaster.
Like a toaster.
You know how people you know those memes of the people with the square face and then put a toaster? It's like that. It's like that. They're kind of funny to look at, but they're the biggest knees I've ever seen. This dude's like 5'3".
Damn.
He's 5'3". He can't feel his hands or like his legs. I think he benches 350.
Oh my god.
And he's 5'3".
Well, I mean,
limited
whatever,
hand.
Whatever
hand,
with the 5'3" thing.
Limited hand.
Yeah, that's what really matters, man. Because if you watch the NFL Combine when what was it, Shaquille Griffin? Is it Shaquille or
yeah.
Is it somebody? His brother. I
think it's Shaq Griffin.
Okay. Either way, they had this thing for him, so where they literally had a attachment that he used, and he just started repping. He was just going.
Yeah, it was probably like a little hand strap.
Yeah, it was this little strap that he just had to put his nub into.
I use similar things when I lift.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. What's it look like? How's it work?
You kind of just attach it to the device. It depends. I don't use it for everything I lift with, but I use it for most things I lift with because it's just. I mean, it pretty much means I can lift the weight I'm supposed to lift, whereas if I don't use it, I could only lift a 20-pound weight where I should be lifting 35, 40-pound stuff.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, whatever. That's got to be super nice for you too, because you can probably put up a little bit more weight with it.
Honestly, yeah, I probably can, but
so that's just got to improve your muscle, how well you can put on muscle too.
Oh yeah, dude. When I was first going through the USA training structure, I think I was lifting around, not a ton. I think I was lifting 180, 190, and then I ended up getting to about 225 as a max.
Bench press?
Yeah, bench press.
Nice.
Which isn't phenomenal. I mean, I'm not Mr. 350.
Dude, shut up. Shut up. That's fine. I mean, and not to mention,
but I need to get stronger.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, so I'm just going to say something amazing about Chuck Aoki's gameplay is that he's so little, but he's that strong. So he's able to get into literally any hole he wants, no matter how tiny. Because what happens is he even if the hole, let's say, Jack, let's say the hole is Jack sitting on that seat. Now, it looks like that's pretty impenetrable, right? Because Jack and the seat are blocking straight away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck is strong enough to where he's probably able to just ram into them, which moves them slightly out of the way.
Oh, and just...
Because he's so elusive and so small, he's able to slip right...
Kind of wiggle through?
Yeah.
Damn. That's awesome. That's great. Because big, bowling ball type of guy, and he just kind of, is quick, too, so he can just, hit you, get right through, and then just... Get in the not end zone, but goal. Okay. A try. Okay. And do you have to bounce the ball too, or no?
You have to dribble
Wow,
free dribbling.
that's awesome. That's
If you break
that's
that
pretty
rule,
dope.
I mean, usually it's either a bad call or you're being a moron.
Right. Yeah, gotcha.
Like that's one of the easier rules to abide by.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. 'Cause I know just like in regular rugby, like I watched it one time when I was like out of the country. It was on TV, and they were like running around. It was so fun to watch. But it was just like like they get into the is like the actual zone though. Is it like the part where you get a try? Is that
Yeah.
what's that called?
It's a try.
It's just a try, like all of it, like that zone is a try.
I don't know what the zone is called, but
Okay.
it's called a try zone.
Okay. Well, the try
It's
zone
called
then.
a try zone.
Yeah. So like they have to bounce the ball like when they get in there, like on the ground, and then they kind of like that's when they score or something like that. Yeah.
What should I call it? Actually, when I was in Japan and we did beat everyone, we creamed Australia, which was
Love that.
amazing 'cause
Love that.
they're number one in the world, and then Japan was number two in the world. We didn't play them, but they lost to Australia.
Mhm.
Um, what should I call it? The World Rugby Cup was also going on in Japan at the time, and they were staying at a hotel right by us. So, like, oftentimes if we were going to get ramen or going to get Starbucks or whatever,
Mhm.
just going to get food, we'd often see players or coaches from that and talk with them.
Yeah, that's cool. A little scouting, a little getting inside their heads.
No, I mean, well, from the World Rugby Cup, like the non-Paralympic side of things.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Gotcha.
Not that we didn't talk to all those other people too. We actually ate lunch and like the hotel would provide. You usually provide breakfast and dinner, so when we were
Mhm.
getting food it was lunch, and yeah, we would eat in the same area.
That's cool.
So you can't get in that head, but you know some nations are friendlier than others.
I'm sure.
Like what should we call? But because ultimately, even though we're there for athletic competition, and obviously when we're out in the court, we hate each other's guts. We want to beat the shit out, not beat the shit out of each other, but
Yeah.
we want to
You
pound
want to
each
win.
other into oblivion. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
you
want
want
to
to
win,
win. Like.
and we're not going to do anything like dirty.
Mhm.
We're
Not shivving people.
yeah, yeah, we're not going to beat the we're not going to hit someone and make them their eyes gouge their eyes out, but we're going to make sure that that hit has a couple damage.
We are about an hour in, so we're actually good to wrap things up. Anything else you wanna add? You happy with the?
Everybody, please stay safe. I know this virus doesn't affect everybody, but it really could kill me, and it could kill your grandma. And I'm gonna have to lick the mic like this, even though that's anti-Rona. But please stay safe. It could, even if you are a young person and healthy, it really could give you long-term health effects, even if it doesn't kill you. So just do what you gotta do. Social distance, wear a mask. If you don't feel comfortable going somewhere, don't go there. Try and, I mean, not just do what you can to stay safe. It doesn't mean you can't drink with your friends or whatever.
Just be respectful to
yeah,
other people.
just make sure that yeah, just make sure that everybody else around you is safe as well as yourself.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to be able to solve this issue if we keep an individualistic mindset. We have to do this together and as one entity, despite the differences that we have with each other.
It's true. All right, Kevin. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being on there. Appreciate those words at the end too, especially. Thank you guys all for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Yeah. Wait. What should we call it?
Talk at the mic.
I will be